Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Pass the Controller. I am your host K7 and with me tonight is Rob, Mags, and Tejas. We've got a lot of awesome topics going on for you tonight and let's get right to them. Our first topic tonight involves professionalism in pro gaming. Going on the last Free Plays discussion on pro gaming and pro gamers not basically no-showing events, something else happened in the world of pro gaming where a pretty big League of Legends player decided to, quit. What happened like a week or so ago, Austin Link Shin announced that he was leaving the game. But the way he did it was a little different in that he essentially called out his teammates, called out his manager, and essentially pretty much threw his own team under the bus. Now, what I ask you guys tonight is, do events like this add to the reasons why a lot of the populace has a very hard time taking pro gaming seriously? Do you think that the players really need to grow up? And, what's your thoughts on the whole professional gaming scene, and what can pro gamers do to improve pro gaming's image? Rob, we'll start with you.
Well, my first impressions of his rage quit, Shin's rage quit, was basically, what a whiny goddamn baby. You write an 18-page Word document calling out what I assume is at least most of the people that he interacted with on his pro gaming tour, basically just going down, how they failed X team or what I don't like about them. And at no point, or at least at very few points, does he ever really point the thumb at himself as to why things didn't work out? I mean, are you the LeBron James of League of Legends? I'm going to guess probably not, because otherwise he might have had a little bit more success and not rage quit on his game. Mm-hmm. But it's really funny because there's apparently this dude that he's supposed to be really good friends with, some guy Double Lift, mm-hmm. And apparently there's a feud going on between the two of them. And his quote during Double Lift's section, because each person that he hates gets their own section in the 18-page document, and that's right after the season-by-season recap of why they didn't win as much as they wanted to. It reads as follows. One biggest problem, bracket sick, bracket, I have is with Double and him not playing as a team player. I mean, he flamed the entire team and blame deflected after playoffs ended. To me, that's the biggest backstab anyone can do. You either lose as a team or you win as a team. You accept your loss, and you move forward and figure out what you can improve. To blame your team and say there's nothing you could have done equals telling me you will never trust your teammates. I just find it hard to believe that statement was written by the same guy that wrote 18 pages calling out all of his previous teammates. So, why isn't pro gaming being taken seriously? This shit right here. How many times in professional regular sports have you seen athletes go through this? Like, Jose Canseco is one of the only guys that I can think of that has lambasted it, and it was so many years after he retired, and he's pretty much vilified and blacklisted from a lot of league people, because on the snitches get stitches principle. Okay. So, I mean, it's just, you want to be treated like a pro, you got to act like a pro, and this isn't how pros act.
Okay. All right. Mags?
Well, I feel like there are a lot of leagues and categories where people make money that aren't going to be mainstream, and why should these types of gamers try to bend over backwards to appeal to the masses? It's just going to make it corporate. But I feel like he should have just done an 18-page manifesto at Double, because everyone knows a Double. And you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but that's just my 2 cents on it. I mostly agree with Rob.
All right.
Thank you.
Aw.
No, you got to keep going, Mags. This is the show. You got to get points. Just make something up.
or do you want us to come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Tejas?
Yeah, I mean, I agree on a few parts that Rob said, and when I read it, it was just what are you doing if you really are going to try to be, especially in a competitive field where it is a team-based operation? Like, how are you going to just burn all those bridges and then call everybody else basically a big baby? I mean, that's the worst thing you can do. And especially when you put so much of your life, what was he on this team for 4 or 5 years, 3 years, I forget. But, I mean, you spend so much time with them. Are you really going to just flame everything that you work for just for what? Like, what's he going to gain from this? Does he think he's going to change the League of Legends, the way professional gaming is going to be played? Or is he trying to just have an expose so, everybody else knows what they're getting into? And like Rob said, in professional sports, the real sports, they have tons of people. I mean, every sport has now become this kind of childly simple game. People in football can't do dances at the end because it's unsportsmanlike. All these basketball players are now being like treated villainously for leaving their team for more money. That I feel like the childishness, to some extent, is always going to be there in like interviews or in the heat of competition if they're trash talking. But like this is going way too far. And I really think I don't think it's really going to hinder him bringing this type of, video game professionalism in the future. It's not going to hinder it because I think it's just been in everything. Everybody's going to act like a big baby when they lose. It's just, I think really, it just needs to get out there more because I know growing up there was only certain people who played certain games. Now it's like everybody plays different games, especially with mobile gaming. I don't know what types of games are going to turn professional. Like if they have a Final Fantasy Pro, I'm quitting my job right now.
Yeah,
sure.
I would too. Unless it was Final Fantasy 3 or 13. No, I would not go on that.
Really, you didn't like 13?
Oh, well,
No.
no.
13 is objectively one of the worst Final Fantasies.
You know what?
How do you make a role-playing game without any choices?
Oh my god.
There isn't any choice in that
It's
game.
that would
You just
make
run
it an
on the
adventure
same
game.
track, and then you fight enemies. And
Final
then you just
Fantasy
keep running on the
13,
same
tunnel
track, cutscene. And then some dude with an afro with a bird popping out of it gives you the backstory, basically, because you're never going to figure out what's going on just on the cutscene.
Chocobo.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was
Yeah.
Chocobo.
What do you mean a bird? How dare you?
Oh,
See,
dare you.
that's how bad Final Fantasy 13 affected me. I've started like retroactively forgetting even the good Final
There's a
Fantasy.
bird and some kind of jaguar. I don't know.
A jaguar out of the afro. Wait, isn't that like
Saz
freaking?
was actually pretty.
Isn't that
cool,
like an
though.
Excel saga or something? I forget. But all right,
Man, everything's an Excel saga.
it was a parody on everything. But what would you guys do to improve gaming's image?
I got it. First thing you got to do is you got to get some PR people in there. Somebody to sit these players down, talk about action versus perception and interpretation of said action.
Okay.
I mean, if you had a decent consultant on board, this guy wouldn't have written an 18-page rage quit manifesto because it just makes him ultimately look bad, and maybe a couple other people.
Okay.
But ultimately, it effectively confirmed every negative stereotype about League of Legends players just being poor sports,
Yeah.
douchebags, and just
Very much.
people you don't want to beat around.
Okay.
So yeah, somebody needs a little bit of public relations coaching.
Okay.
I think that would go a long way. It's
Okay.
not going to stop them from sucking just as people, but at least we won't know about it as much.
That's true. All right.
If I can go.
Yeah, go for it.
Just piggybacking right off of that, it's just, for me, I'm not that hardcore of an online gamer as most. But, yeah, like, I'm what they call casual, so I don't know every little detail. And really, for me, I would never be able to even make it to those ranks, not because of the skill or time, because I'm pretty sure I could be great at some,
Some game.
person shooters, yeah. But, I mean, those people acting the way that they do is off of the arrogance that they're the best. But, I mean, even if you go on Xbox or if you go on PlayStation, you get it all in your ear every day.
That's true.
And I think really if the community could somehow actually be better people, I mean, this is like now turning into a global topic.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like if we could just have more love, maybe. But
Show me the love.
yeah,
Where is the love?
I think maybe that's where it's kind of like base level. You put
Yeah.
in a Battlefield, you put in a Street Fighter, and you go online, you put your headphones on, you're going to hear trash talk from the
Yes.
beginning straight to the end every
Very
day.
much so.
So for me, I mean, that would be a great help. I mean, it would just be amazing if we could just get it from there.
Okay. All right, Mags, how would you improve the world of pro gaming?
Legends, I know that they're making the pots bigger, but is there any actual effort in trying to manage these teams or bringing in people to change their behavior?
They have
As a
managers, yeah.
consultant or someone that does PR isn't going to do shit if there isn't an actual coach that is repping each individual team. Because how many teams are there to keep track of? There's still basically
few,
kids
yeah.
that are dominating this section. So
It's like
they
all
need
late
parents,
teens.
They need teachers.
Okay. But yeah, I definitely agree on that. They definitely need people to at least guide them into at least acting better.
According to this
so-
dude's rage report, they have coaches. They
Report.
just
Bonus point
don't
for that.
seem to be very good coaches.
Yeah.
Like
But
you
yeah, they
gotta,
definitely need better
I think League of Legends needs a Bill Parcells to whip him into shape, or a
That's an
Bill
idea.
Belichick, just one of the Bills.
But then he's just gonna deflate people's mouse balls or something like that.
Hey, that was Brady. That was all Brady.
Yeah, that was
And
Fine. Recording
wait,
people
wait. That's for the next topic. That's for the next topic. Okay,
to deflate
Okay.
League of Legends
okay,
edition.
I can't talk about it.
All right.
Gotta
All right.
save it.
Well,
plead the fifth, plead the fifth.
all right. Any final thoughts on this topic before we move on? No. All righty. All right. Well, that is our first round. Let me just tally up the scores here for round one. Rob, you earned yourself 15 points on that one. Very nice. Mags, you earned yourself 6. Also very nice. And Tejas, you earned yourself 10. Very good. All right. Well, let's move on to the next round. Hacker punishments in video games. A couple weeks ago, a pretty notorious World vs. World and PvP hacker in Guild Wars 2 was finally caught and banned. However, the methodology that they used, that the devs used for this, was pretty interesting and caused kind of a bit of a stir. As what they did was they took control of his character, stripped him of all his gear and weapons, basically deleted it in front of him, and had the character walk around the main human city naked, eventually reaching a overpass, waving to the crowd, and then jumping off to his death and getting banned. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Was this a bit too much? Was it entirely appropriate? And should other devs do this to hackers? And for bonus points, what would be your most creative way to ban a hacker?
Can I start?
Go for it!
Because I thought about this and I was like, this is out of hand. For one thing, just how malicious of a developer are you that you're really going to take the time and effort to parade this fictional character around? Now, I understand that in MMOs, it's like a second life to some people, for most people, for everybody. But it's just weird. Like, I don't know why you would put so much time and effort into do something that really is, choosing his file and pressing delete. I understand that if there's some kind of investment in most of these people, but if you're going to hack the game, you're really not even playing fair, so what do you care? You're just going to find another hack and do it again.
That's true.
I mean, there's really no message sent, and also it really makes the company look just like the professional gamers, like children. I mean, they're messing with your toys, so you just beat them in the face? Like, what's wrong with you?
Why you gotta be messing with the toys? Why you gotta make me hit you, Tejas?
Now I understand that.
Quit hitting yourself.
Because your toy was cool, and I made it cooler, okay?
Alright.
But I think, like, if you're going to really, like, Guild Wars 2, it's a big game. And really, you should have the professionalism to know that you're a company. You're a professional company that's making this product. I know that the product is being messed with, and with that, your other clients or customers or potential customers are being affected. Now, here is where I would have my creative input, and this is where the sadistic part of me comes out. I would not do anything in the beginning, but slowly nerf his equipment, just specifically his. So his attack starts going down and down and down, and then his defense starts going down, and he has to stay with that character, so he can't actually make other characters. And then you'd be
So you lock the character.
You kind of lock it, and then but make sure that he can't really tell from the beginning, and try to slowly take him down to basically a level 99 character with one for every stat. And then when he figures that out, he'll delete his account. But hopefully, you've gotten like 24 months of his money in your pocket. I would try to take all the cash I could from this guy. I would charge like double for stuff. Just so I can be like, you know what? In my fake world, you kind of screwed me, but in the real world, I screwed you.
Ooh. All right. Very good. All right.
But again, that's very childish and should be
Oh, yeah. Of course. Clearly. All right. Mags, your thoughts?
Well, I like his idea of the nerfing, but I'll get to that. I would side with the developers because I've written for video games, and if you're creating this character from the ground up, you don't want to see people fucking with it.
Yeah.
Like, if I wrote this character and then I see that someone hacked him and he's like screwing a goat or something, I'd be upset. So
That's not canon.
What did they do to Goat Simulator?
yeah. Well, I mean, there's some weird like goat fleeing.
That's some bad news.
My friend sends me weird videos of it all the time.
I should minus
See,
points
like,
for that
I
one,
got
Rob.
annoyed and then I got stop it. Damn.
Sorry.
Oh,
Let's see.
cracking up a little bit. All right. Continue, Mags.
But I mean, I can't go too in depth with this because I haven't really played the MMOs. I've written for them, but I haven't explored them.
All right.
So I'm not I can't really give input from that perspective.
Okay.
But I mean,
Was what they did too much? Did they go too far?
I don't think so. If the players have a way to where their cards are connected to their account, I mean, they could track them down and be like, oh, we saw that you messed with our game, so we're charging you,
Ooh.
you know, like 2 years worth of subscriptions because you messed with our property.
But don't you think that that's going to result in some like legal issues? Like they're probably just going to try to sue them, basically countersue them, essentially.
But I mean, if they can prove that the person messed with their intellectual property, then the company would have more legal standing than the player.
All right, makes sense. All right, now, what would be your creative way of banning someone if you had the option to?
Didn't you already say it with the goat?
I would make it as vicious and as mean as possible.
Okay, very
But
good.
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I liked watching the video of him falling to his death. It made me laugh. Does that make me evil? I don't know. Sorry.
No.
It's not real.
All right. Alrighty then. Rob? Your thoughts?
This is what I want. This is how I like to see cheaters punished. I like to see public shaming that also at the same time restricts access to playing the game that they cheated on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go back to the Ballghazi scandal with the New England Patriots, I didn't need to see Tom Brady get suspended. I didn't need to see the Patriots dock draft picks, but I would like to see just his life forever be shamed because all official publications will refer to him as Tom Brady with the O replaced with an asterisk. So, you know, I like the childishness because you're being a cheater, pumpkin eater,
Okay.
and there should be some sort of entertaining way that they get punished because there needs to be an entertaining way because he took enjoyment away from other people in this game with his cheating because he was doing literally the same thing that the guy in the South Park World of Warcraft episode was doing. He was warping in, completely destroying entire parties, capturing cities and stuff all on his own. And you basically had no shot against him. I mean, like if something like that happened to you, wouldn't you step away from the game for a little while? Because that's bad news. If
Bad
there's
news.
an insurmountable challenge, you can't defeat that. So they have to take some kind of action. I like the way they did it. I thought it was funny. And some people on like Twitter complained about, like, oh, maybe they should be spending more time, fixing the holes that are hacked instead of punishing cheaters in such a childish fashion. But that's a false equivalence.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah, I agree.
you don't need to dedicate like all of your time to fixing holes and hacking, especially when it doesn't take that much time to make some dude jump off a bridge naked.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. All right. Now, what I want to ask you guys, in your times of gaming, what is the worst hacking experience that you've ever seen in game?
Man, any free MMO?
Like for example, for me would be in Guns Online. There was hacking nonstop. What would be the worst hacking experience that you've ever seen or been a part of? Just a quick thought.
I know Guns. I played Guns Online, and that was ridiculous. I mean, it was like every other person knew how to hack the thing, and I was just
Except me.
yeah. I'm a developer too, and I was just like, man, how'd they do this? Like, I suck. But yeah, I think what really bugs me is when it gets to consoles, because I'm I'm a console gamer, and I see hacking on consoles, and that drives me insane. Because how in God's name do they do that? And I don't know, it's like a whole new level for me. Because it's not, like on a computer, I guess it's a computer. I don't know why. I feel like if you're playing a game on a computer, then all the programming is there. But on a console, I think Battlefield 3, when that first came out online, there was some bad hacking where, I mean, they were invincible, bullets had auto-tracking, and,
Magic Bullet, the real game. Magic Bullet, the real game.
Yeah, right. And I mean, Battlefield 3 for me was very intense. It wasn't Call of Duty. So when you're flying in a jet and all of a sudden they're like, "Ooh, a pistol killed you," you're like, "What? How the hell did that happen?" And
Ooh,
I don't know.
would
I
hate
guess that's
that.
the worst.
All right. Rob, what is your best cheating story?
It wasn't online, and these were actually cheats embedded in the game, but I just thought it was a general dick move. It was like back sophomore year of college. I was over at a buddy's house, and he just mentioned offhand that he had Age of Empires 2. And we were like, sweet, let's play. So me and this dude, we sat down to play some Age of Empires 2, and I'm just going about the way that I usually do, make the villagers, set
Explode.
skirmishers, etc., etc. So finally, my scout cavalry figures out where he is and gets over there. It's like 10 minutes into the game, the dude is already into the castle age. And I'm just like, wait, how the hell did that happen? Because he never really mentioned that he was any good in this game, so I don't know if very skilled players can get to the castle age within 10 minutes. But then my base starts getting attacked, and I just get into the second age, so, I'm still early game. And this fucking Shelby Cobra just comes zooming down into my village, machine guns blaring, and just torches everything. Dudes with maces have got no answer to the Shelby AC Cobra 427 with mounted machine guns. So I find out this guy's just been using resource cheats and then eventually the Cobra. And he just clears me out in 10 minutes. He's just like, haha, I won. I'm like, dude, you just cheated the whole game. I thought we were just sitting down to play a friendly game.
I think there was another
What's
one
up?
where you could bring down like the head of George Washington or something like that from Mount Rushmore and just stomp on everything as well.
Ah,
That was
That-
that was
that's
another
a-
one added to the game, I believe.
I want to bring in the alien from SimCity 2000. That's my Age of Empires cheat that I want.
All right.
although the Shelby Cobra is pretty slick.
Okay.
I like that it's got the U.S. International Ration
Yeah, it
stripes on
does.
it too.
Yeah, it does.
When you were saying it was an in-game cheat, I thought you were gonna be like, "Yeah, it's GoldenEye playing."
Me too. At first, that's
I
what.
was like, yeah.
The
So
Age of
I
Empires. I'm like, all right, good, very good. All right, Mags, what is your favorite cheating story?
I I don't play MMOs.
Doesn't have to be
And
an
I think
MMO.
the last time I tried to cheat was when Game Genie was a thing. So
Ooh, that brings back memories.
Dated.
What is your favorite cheat?
oh shit.
Or the favorite one that, or the worst story that you've been hit by, in say like a multiplayer game, or what is your favorite Game Genie code that you use? In what game?
Yeah, you're asking me this stuff, and I don't really have anything for you.
Ah,
Sorry.
it's all right. All right. Well, in that case, if you could think of a cheat, what would you put in the game?
Well, which game?
Any game. Pick your favorite game. Pick your favorite.
So Zelda, probably.
Sure, Legend of Zelda. If you
Yeah.
could add a cheat to the game, what would you do? What would you add?
So, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm at that age now where I don't want to cheat. I want to experience the whole thing, and if it frustrates me and drives me crazy, I want to feel that because I want a game where I can experience it, whatever emotion it creates for me. So,
Fair. All right. Very good. Alrighty. Well, any final thoughts before we close it out?
Yes. Tom Brady's a cheater.
And if I could cheat in Zelda, I would tell that stupid fairy to shut up.
Oh, you can cheat a bunch in Zelda with like the bugs in the bottle tricks and stuff like
Oh,
that.
have you ever seen those like speed
like,
runs? Holy
like
crap!
watch an Ocarina speed run. It is amazing the shit that you can do with that game.
But you can't shut Navi up.
No, you can't.
No.
Okay,
However, in the I forget what it was. I think it was Sinai and Happiness. The legend, like the Legend of Lunk, where he basically golfs the fairy into oblivion, which was wonderful. Definitely something to check out on the YouTubes if you can.
There was another one where he travels back in time from beating Ganon in Ocarina of Time. And he comes back right to the beginning, and he just smashes against the wall, and he goes, "Just go back to sleep."
That was a good one. But yeah, and for those viewing, feel free to add in the comments what your favorite cheats would be, and if you had a choice, what would you do? I look forward to reading some comments. All right. At the end of this round, Rob, you have snagged yourself 12 points for that round. Mags, you snagged yourself 10 on that round. And Tejas, you have snagged yourself also 12. So, after the 2 rounds, Rob, you currently have 27. Mags, you currently have 16. And Tejas, you currently have 22. So, Rob and Tejas, you both move on to the showdown round. And unfortunately, Mags, you are going. You have to be listening in from the side at the moment. But all right, let's move it on to the showdown round. Now, for those who have not viewed the show before, now that we have reached the showdown round, it is going to be a best of 3 topics between our 2 finalists tonight, and with Rob and Tejas here. So, and basically. They give their 1-minute dissertations on each of the topics, and I award who basically presents the better argument, and essentially who gives the best answer. All right, and whoever gets 2 topics wins. All right, now to start it off, let's start off with with the topic that I've been looking forward to for the past, say, I don't know, like 25 years. The Nintendo World Championships are coming back. Are you guys excited? Is this a good idea by Nintendo, or is it just another pile of hype that won't be all that good? Rob, you were in the lead going into the showdown. You started off. You have 1 minute to speak your thoughts.
Thanks, Kyle. This seems like a great idea, and I'm so glad that they brought it back now instead of maybe trying to shoehorn it in the late 90s, mostly because the gaming landscape has changed so vastly between those 2 time periods, and there's a broader focus in the game. There's a lot more attention to competitive gaming, and there's a whole industry built up of people watching other people, sometimes even watching other people play video games. A lot of people watching. Anyways, I think it's great, and I like that we finally have, like a core developer sponsoring their own tournaments, so we can have the official Nintendo Heavyweight Smash Brothers champion. We could have the official Nintendo Ocarina of Time speedrunner, or Super Mario Sunshine, or Super Mario Galaxy. Most of the games that they have will be good for either direct competitive play or a speedrun race competition, I'd probably tune in to catch a little bit of it. I've certainly enjoyed what I've watched of some of the League of Legends Worlds Championships, and I can only imagine it would be better with Nintendo because I can relate to their games so much more because I've played them for my entire life.
Okay.
So, yeah, all for this. I think they did it at the right time, and I think it's going to be a lot better than their attempt as a promotional tie-in with the movie The Wizard back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Good reference. Okay. Tejas, your thoughts?
To be completely honest, it's gonna be Woodstock '96 in my opinion. It's gonna be something great that's just gonna fall apart.
Ooh.
I'm hoping
Oh, another
that it'll
good
be
reference.
great, and I can't wait to watch. But man, it's gonna bring out some weird stuff. I think it really is, and I don't think it's gonna go as smoothly as. I mean, as smoothly as everybody wants it to be, and as much as Nintendo wants it to be, considering this whole topic was about professional gaming and how everybody's a big baby, this is gonna be. I mean, I don't know. I can't. I'm frightened. You know, I'm super psyched but frightened. I'm Star Wars Episode 7 right now.
Ooh.
You know, like I hope to
Ballad
God
of
there's not a
references.
Jar Jar Binks, but I'm so happy they're back anyway.
Jar Jar Yoshi. Oh, God.
Fear
Oh,
leads to
see.
anger.
Yeah.
Anger leads
hate.
to... Oh, God. But...
So,
Oh wait,
Wow,
that's a prequel quote.
This is like
so
this
it
is like the
doesn't-
battle. This is like the battle of the references here. Goodness, but you know what?
I only did it because Rob did it.
But then again, he brought out the wizard reference, and who's the main actor from that?
Fred Savage.
There you
I'm pretty
go.
Sure at least.
Yeah, and I believe he put out a tweet that says that he needs to be there.
yes, he
Just
does.
for that alone, I am looking forward to it. But you mentioned that people are going to be acting like babies. Don't you want to see the explosions of the Ragers? Don't you want to see that? That would be
Over
worth the
Mario
price of
Kart?
admission by itself. Oh,
Yes, I do. I want to see people lose their.
Yeah.
I want to see grown-ass men cry like little goddamn babies about Mario Kart.
either
I
that
never get the blue shell in second place.
or even better. Yeah, or even better, the like going back in the Wizard, you get the absurdly over the top announcer. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
And the Power Glove.
That would be sweet. If
But
they
yes.
if they even had just a little throwback of the first one, just to have like Fred Savage, the Power Glove, and like the new Nintendo Entertainment System, like commercials and stuff, that would be sweet.
Yes.
But I think them
yeah.
trying to bring it back after all these years,
All right, but still, I think Rob really nailed it in that there was a lot of hype. There is a lot of hype, and while yes, I am a little concerned, they already have announced what games are going to be in it and what you're going to have to do. So they've done the prep work, and Rob's right. It is better than releasing it at the end of the 90s. They definitely picked a good time. So Rob, you get this topic right there. So let's move on to the next one. Well, going on our whole fun thing about hackers today, but from like a different standpoint, Microsoft is banning Xbox Live accounts and temporarily bricking the Xbox Ones of some people who posted videos of the upcoming Gears of War game. Do you guys think this is going a little too far for Microsoft? Do you like knowing that they essentially have a kill switch for your system if you do something that they don't like on it? Tejas, we're starting with you on this one.
I own a PlayStation 4. So, I mean, yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. It's going a bit too far. I do not like that there is a kill switch on it. You know, that whole thing where your Xbox One is always going to be on kind of threw me. I don't really have too much concerns about it because it's not like I'm doing anything crazy. But I will say right now that breaking it, that's way too much. Banning it, it's a bit too much. But if you can somehow just, I don't know, remove the content fast enough, and I mean, where are they getting the information from? Because really the main thing for this, in my opinion, is I don't want to see it. I really don't. I'm one of those guys that really tries not to watch trailers as much for movies I know that I'm going to go see in theaters. Because they always put all the best parts in the trailers, and I'm like, oh, I just wish I was in that moment in that movie. Same with video games. I feel the same way. Even if they're old games from, when Xbox 360 came out, I'd still get them, and I haven't played them, and everybody knows it and everything. I would like to still have that ending of Red Dead Redemption. If you've ever played that game, that game came out so long ago, and I just tried to avoid everything, and I just never bought it in anything. I finally bought it, I played it, and this was the first time in a long time that I stood up and smashed my controller like I was a champion. I was just like, that's how you make a game. And so to have that moment, I would really not like to see the Gears of War, any game that I'm excited about. I wouldn't want to see any of these kind of, whatever, the videos that are coming out before the game. But, breaking their Xbox or shutting it down, they paid for it, and so I get...
too much.
Yeah, it's a bit too much.
Okay. Rob?
This is too far for me. The temporary bricking, they clarified in their statement that they still said that the Xbox One is usable in offline mode, even with their bricking procedure. But what they don't really mention in their statement is that if you disable all online abilities, the Xbox One doesn't really function. Games need patches. There's other services that would require some kind of online connectivity, even if you're not interacting with other people, to be able to use your console in any meaningful fashion. So ultimately, you basically just took this dude's $400+ and ran with it. I think that that's taking it too far. I'd rather have childish or amusing punishments. I'm totally fine removing his ability to interact with other people online, because that's where the problem was. It was just how he was treating other people online. If you still allow him usable single-player games or just being able to use Xbox to access the internet, that's fine. But I think when you're taking money from people to the tune of, like, the $300, $400 or so that this console costs, that ain't right. That's not a power you should be able to have.
Yeah.
Plus the $60 subscription.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that is multiple levels less, and I don't know. It's just like the subscription I don't really value as much as the console itself, just because the console itself, if maintained, could theoretically last for a very long time. Your subscription would expire at the end of the year anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's more of a magnitude thing at this point, in addition to the action, but it really is the magnitude of it that bothers me.
That I agree. Yeah, there are better ways that they could have done this. That's for darn sure. But Tejas really brought up a good point. It would be nice to at least be surprised. So I could understand Microsoft's standpoint going by it, but it is way too much. So honestly, you both gave some very good points on that one. So I'm actually giving the topic to both of you. But so let's move on to the final topic.
I have a question though.
I may have
if
an answer
Tejas
for you.
gets this round, this next question, do we have like an overtime topic ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
Because we'd end up tied, unless you're counting the original points.
I have a way. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Well. Here's the thing.
Okay. You know what? Never mind. I'll just win the next topic. And then
I was
we
just
have the
about to say
topic.
you better win this then. But all right.
Should. It's my topic. I suggested it.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay.
come on!
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
man.
our final topic tonight is one of our very popular versus topics. A versus topic is essentially, who do you guys think would win? For tonight, our contestants are Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series versus Ashley Williams from the Mass Effect series versus Ash Ketchum. Rob, start with you.
All right.
You have
So
1 minute.
basically, just gotta do process of elimination here. Ashley Williams from Mass Effect. She's out. Space racist. Doesn't even quote good classical literature. And she's only not the most boring character in Mass Effect because Caden is in the game. So it obviously can't be her. Ash Ketchum is honestly a whiny little bitch. I don't like him. I think his Pokemon should have given up following him long ago. Gary Oak was the more deserving champion. He's out.
Hey, he got 10
So
badges.
that leaves us with Ash Williams, the king that baby hails to. How can you not vote for this guy? I mean, he got his arm sawed off, so he attaches a chainsaw to it. I mean, he is one of the finest users of lever action rifles and shotguns that I've come across in media. He's a technical genius because after the chainsaw add-on, he also made a chainmail fully functional hand that was about as good as Luke Skywalker's replacement hand at the end of Empire Strikes Back. Also, he fought his own twin, killed him, and then says, "Hey, what's that on your face?" before he shovels dirt onto it.
Okay.
It's got to be the guy.
All right.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right. Rob's vote, Ash Williams. Tejas, what are your...
What the
who do
hell
you
do I
vote for?
say? He got it all.
All right, great.
I mean,
Told you.
the only thing he missed was that Ash Ketchum is basically a slave owner who makes his
Ooh.
dogs in dog fights. I mean, Gary obviously is a champion. I mean, he loses every fight and still keeps going, man. And he makes it to the 4. He makes it to the 4 and he wins. And then that stupid brat whose mom probably had tons of money who slept with Professor Oak. Who knows? Just,
Oh, you know.
Hey, Gary might be his brother.
Yeah, has half brother.
Or, no, correction. Wait. If Gary Oak's grandpa is Professor Oak, and Ash's mom slept with him, wouldn't that make Ash Gary's like stepfather or something like that, or step uncle?
Well, I don't think so, because Ash's mom would have had to have given birth to Gary or been married to Professor Oak. Like if she's just banging him, I don't think that there's any kind of relation there other than just, oh, you're fucking my mom.
No, you're thinking of it wrong. It's his
Or wait,
mom.
no, that would be Ash's perspective towards Professor Oak.
Professor Oak and Ash's mom. That's Ash's parents. And
But
then,
it would be Gary's grandpa.
is it Gary? Do they say that?
Yes.
No,
Smell
I
you
thought
later,
Oak
Gramps.
was more the parental figure for
Yes,
Gary.
but Gary's still but Professor Oak's still Gary's grandpa. This just opens up an entire window of genetical clusterfucks.
We're gonna have to make some charts.
We're gonna need a diagram
This
for
would
this.
be a
one.
great topic for another episode. Like, what is this whole Pokemon family tree
But yeah.
business?
Yep. But-
Yeah, I mean, Rob got it on point.
Yep.
Ashley Williams, she's racist. I mean, I'm not gonna vote for a racist.
Yeah,
Yep.
in space. There's no room
Spacist.
for racism in space. Yes, spacist.
Okay. Well,
And then, I mean, Ash, he's just, yeah. I mean, Gary's got the tenacity, he's got that underdog, and he makes it all the way to the top. And then, I mean, the man, Ash, he's got a boomstick.
yes,
Okay?
it does.
He's just got
Pick
a
a boom.
It doesn't matter. Anything else, he's got a boomstick. That's all that matters. He's got a fake arm, a chainsaw hand. I mean, he's like, what is he? Luke
Yes.
Skywalker, Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, and Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. Because I can't think of anybody else who had a shotgun. All
Okay.
wrapped into one.
That's
He could
true.
have been a vampire. Who cares? Anyways, Rob wins. I'll give it to him.
Yep. All right. Mags, do you agree
Thank
with that?
I am over here laughing my ass off. I have the entire Evil Dead series, so I am happy that everyone agrees with Ash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, congratulations. You are today's champion of the video game world. You have 30 seconds. Speak your mind about games.
Okay. See, I always win when I don't have anything planned for this. Like literally every single time, I'm just like, oh, I won. Oh shit, there's something else I have to do. So
I'll keep that in
I
mind
guess-
next time.
Yeah, I guess we gotta go back to the topic of cheating in games for this, and it's mostly just, well, obviously don't do it, but make sure if you see something fishy, report it to the site staff. At least try to do your part to get these guys punished, because it's a big game out there. They're probably short of staff as it is. They need the help of the users watching each other's backs and the backs of the game as a whole. So just make sure you, as the citizen of the video game world, do your part to prevent bad behavior. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Indeed. All right. Well, fantastic, fantastic show tonight, everyone. I'd like to give a big thank you to Rob, Mags, and Tejas for all coming on tonight and speaking their mind about the gaming world. Do you guys have anything to add before we close out?
This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad I joined. I read the articles and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have as much to say.
You'd be surprised.
Pretty
Well,
good.
you just make it up. That's what
There
the
you go.
show is.
That's
I
all
know.
it really
You know
is.
what?
Like
You know
how
what?
many
I gotta-
facts do you think were in like our points? I'm gonna say I had maybe 2 total
Yeah.
out of the
But
27 points.
it's how you explain it and how many times you can make me laugh, essentially. But
Yeah,
all right.
I knew
but-
it. I knew it.
But yeah, like I said again, big thank you to Rob, Mags, and Tejas for all coming on tonight. I am K7. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to comment down below on the YouTubes. And thank you very much again, and have a wonderful night.